So in this video today, we're going to talk about the DJI Tello drone. So we'll cover what is the Tello, who is the company that actually made it, even though it's released by DJI. It's a company called Rise. We're going to do an unboxing and charging. We'll do a setup through the app, and then we'll do flying. We have two examples, part 1 and 2, and then we'll go into final thoughts. So Tello is a drone. It's intended for like entry-level folks and kids. It comes with a whole host of features: electronic stabilization, 5 megapixel ability to take photos. You got some intelligent flight modes which keep everyone entertained, and it weighs just 80 grams, which is below the 0.55 pounds for the FAA. So 30-minute flight time, and you got lots of fun things to keep everyone entertained. Who is Rise? Rise is a startup company in China. This is their entry-level product. And an interesting facet of this drone is that you can actually do some programming if you're into that type of thing. This is just an unboxing. I'd sped it up because all unboxings are very boring. But, the product itself, you just get a couple of extra propellers. You get an instruction manual, and you get a charging cable as well, and away you go. So you just plug it in on the side there, it charges up. I think it said it would take an hour and a half. I think it wasn't even that for me before the blue light was stable, and you're pretty much off to go to the races. So just a quick note about DJI Instructions. They've reached a new low with the Tello drone. There's only about 4 pages of information that they give you. So come on, DJI, I think you can do a little bit better than that. So once you're plugged in and charged in, the light goes constant. You're ready for flight mode. So you just press the button on the side here, and then once it goes into ready flight mode, it'll light up, and then you go to the app, which you obviously have to download through the App Store, through Google Store. So I'm on iPhone here, so I'm just going to show you what it's like on the actual App Store. You just look for Tello, DJI Tello, and it downloads pretty quickly, and then you start going through the actual processes of accepting the terms and conditions for the manufacturer. So naturally they want you to be aware of a bunch of things when it comes to flying a drone: safety, their liability and your liability, and your acceptance of terms. So naturally you just want to take a look through this. It's going to be thousands of pages of legal mumbo jumbo, and if you're anything like me, you're kind of just going to speed through it, glaze through it, and then accept it because you're pretty excited to get to where you want to go. I do think they talk about, even though this is a drone that is intended for kids, I think they're still talking about age 14 and up for piloting, which is a bit of a head scratcher. But regardless, I recommend you do your due diligence about that aspect, especially. So once you've done looking through all the disclaimers and all of the legal mumbo jumbo, you just accept that you've read, and that you're going to be flying safe, and you should be good to go. So you want to allow photos for access, because there is no internal recording mechanism on this drone, which is frustrating. I'm hoping with the Tello 2 release they'll probably put internal storage or at least an SD card ability in there. But yeah, you're essentially going to want to connect the Tello to your own Wi-Fi through your phone. At the time of this recording, I didn't have a remote control, which I believe you still need to use your cell phone through it. So you want to look for the Tello network, just accept that, which is very simple. And then you're going back to the drone itself, and then you're going to connect. So it's going to want to show you the basics of how to operate the drone. These are exactly the same controls as any DJI other drone product. Move forwards, backwards, up and down. It's all the same. The same layout as well. I mean, those are icons that are all instantly recognizable, whether it's battery, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, speed, or height. You've got intelligent setting modes, flight modes. You've got settings, takeoff and land, and various other fun stuff. And then you've got flight intelligent modes, and you've got throw and go, flips, in and out, 360. You've got a circle and bounce. I'm not sure what the hell bounce is, but I tried that and it was rather annoying. So this is the maiden voyage. I hadn't really charged it up that much, just was interested in getting it going. This is indoors. This is me flying, and you know, I've owned 3 DJI drone products. I consider myself an okay pilot. So I'm kind of just zipping this around and just getting a feel of it. I'm especially interested in the lag on what it looks back on the how it transmits back to my cell phone, which is, you know, obviously just a few feet away. So you're going to see in a minute, my kid's going to want to throw a cushion at the drone, which I told him not to do. No, this didn't panic me into crashing it. I was just apparently a really bad operator of this drone. So anyway, you've got plenty of internal settings to play around with. If you want to do, if you want to calibrate anything, you want to change anything, you've got photo quality there, which, you know, 5 megapixels I thought was pretty good. You know, a lot of the settings you'll find will be familiar, if not more streamlined than a lot of the other DJI products that are out there. Here's an example of some photos. I've got 3 here. This is just an external. This is another external. And we've got one that's actually up in the air. You can see the gimbal was a little bit, you know, off center there. But, you know, for 5 megapixels, I think this is pretty good. And then I had my default setting there as normal. I didn't have it as high. So you can actually increase the ability for, you know, quality there. So I decided to take it out and just see what it was like. I wanted to do throw and go as an intelligent flight mode option here. So what it is, it basically counts down to 5, and then you're meant to throw it, and it's meant to just fly in the air. And I patiently waited for the 5 count, and you know, it did nothing. So I thought, okay, you know, maybe it's me. I'll go back and initiate it again, and here you can see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you know, I just thought I'd just throw it on the count of 1, and sure enough, it took up in the air. So you know, that's a fun little option. I would like to, you know, in a way, not have to even worry about having to select it as an intelligent mode. I'd like to just throw it in the air and it just detects it's free falling and just starts. But maybe that's just me. So you know, I did a recording of the actual, you know, transmission back to the phone. You're seeing that on the left, and on the right you're actually seeing the screen footage itself, but that's of course transmitted back to the phone as well. So you're going to notice some lag that comes up, and some kind of jumping. It's a little bit frustrating. You know, I was kind of hoping for a more smoother transmission experience, but you know, for $99 USD I can't get too picky. You know, absolutely no video settings on this drone. I was kind of expecting it to be something to kind of play around with. I don't know if that's something you can get more into with the code inside of it. But for just out of the box, you know, you've got some challenges with video quality. But again, you're not buying this and expecting it's going to be a Mavic or an Air or, you know, any of those kind of Phantom series. This is a $99 drone. It is intended as entry level. You know, for beginners only, really. You know, I'm kind of just playing around again with some of the settings here. I'm going to kind of let you guys just view this. You know, we got a good few minutes of me just playing around with it. I'll chime back in for the next section of this video.
Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
So this is the second clip where it's just pure video footage straight from the actual drone transmission to the recording option. So you're not going to see any flight telemetry on this footage here, but you are going to see some examples of lag. I'm standing very close to this drone, and you're going to get some lag. In a little while, you're going to see how the drone struggles against some of the natural elements. There's not really a lot of wind at this point of the day when I was filming this, but I'm kind of messing around in the backyard, so it's a little bit sheltered from any kind of wind gusts. But in a little while, this video footage, I'm going to kind of spin it into a little bit of a wind tunnel, which is perhaps a little unfair. But I was trying to push it forward, and it just wasn't having it. If I flew it backwards with the wind direction, it wanted to go that way. Left and right seemed to be okay as well. But if I tried to push it into the direction of the wind, it would struggle a lot. So this drone is light, it's small and compact. So if you are going to be flying it up against some wind gusts, it's going to get knocked around quite a bit. So, what do I think of this drone? For $100, it's a lot of fun. I think the coding aspect is going to be a big thing. Kids and adults alike will be programming it to do what they want to do with it. I'd like to see an option to do an internal recording option. It doesn't have it. It transmits back to your phone. But again, it's one of those things of do you expect the video quality to be high? The photographic quality of it actually is pretty good for 5 megapixels. I felt it was pretty decent. So two out, at least 1 out of 3 ain't bad. I mean, from a design aspect, it's pretty compact and neat. Again, I think the big thing is the coding aspect, and some of the flight options there are pretty fun. I never got a chance to try out the Smart View, the VR view version of it. I can't imagine that's going to be anywhere near as good as the goggles for the Mavic or the Air or the Phantom series. So, but overall, for $100, you can't go wrong. It's a good present. It's a good product. Rise seem to have done it well. Good collaboration with DJI. And, with DJI, you come in with a good warranty and a manufacturing guarantee. So, they're going to be messing around with that. So I hope you like this video. Subscribe and like and comment if you have any questions. Thank you.